What's up, plant friends? So I have my first plant event pop-up swap thing with Candide today. It was a completely new style of event, but thank you so much for everyone who swung by and stopped by. It was really lovely seeing some familiar faces, so thank you so much for popping by. It really does mean a lot to me. It was a little bit overwhelming and it was a little bit all over the place, but Candide did ask me to do a little talk on kind of plants and well-being, but unfortunately in the moment it didn't really happen, which I'm kind of secretly fine with, but I thought I would film it for you guys instead. Lucky you. I don't know why I just did that. So here we go. So yeah, where should I start? I'm gonna skip the intro because you guys know who I am and you know that I own my own business and you know that I do terrarium and houseplant courses. So I'll just skip that bit. So yeah, I was just going to talk about my experience with kind of mental health and having plants. So I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression in my early 20s, but I think it's been an ongoing, I still don't know the right word to describe this because I wouldn't say it's an issue or a problem, it's just a way of life. So I think I've noticed in my kind of early mid-teens that depression is something that runs in my family, and I didn't really think I had anxiety at the time, but they're quite closely linked for me, so they definitely play a part on each other. It wasn't until a trip to Amsterdam in 2016 that really sparked my curiosity in houseplants. In Amsterdam, they have florists and plant shops across the city and it's absolutely lush, and I would love to go back and visit again and go and visit some of their botanical gardens and that as well, because that would just be absolutely ace. And even though I did spend a lot of time outside as a kid, I never thought about bringing plants inside until I discovered terrariums. So after finding this little shop selling these tiny terrariums, I knew I had to bring one home. But on our last day, we were never able to find that shop again. So I came back to Bristol terrariumless. And after trying to find one and searching locally for one, and I again couldn't find anything, this then prompted David to make me go and make them myself. And I just found the whole process of working on terrariums extremely therapeutic. It really just ignited this childlike curiosity in me where I was just completely fascinated and fixated by it, and I just wanted to know as much as I could. And I would work away at all hours at the beginning, not so much now, I'm trying to find that balance, but I would work away at all hours, researching, studying, just trying to learn as much as possible. And I just love working with my hands as well, so working with terrariums is perfect for me. And the great thing as well, it was so fantastic to see what thrived, see what didn't. I played around with cacti and succulents, I played around with tropicals, played around with enclosed, open ones, found a method that suited me and something that works for me, which I'm now sharing with you guys. But it wasn't just the presence of plants that really helped my well-being, but it just gave me a passion and a purpose. So the Japanese have been practicing something called forest bathing for centuries. If you don't know this practice, it's a practice of reconnecting with nature. So going to a woodland or a forest with no technology and just being present with nature, really taking in what's around you, listening to the wind rustling through the trees, hearing what you can underfoot, the rustling of kind of like any birds or squirrels or anything like that, and just taking in really nice deep breaths. So regularly doing this practice reduces blood pressure, stress and anxiety. It's known to boost your immune system, mood and energy levels also. Other countries like Sweden and those in the Netherlands have practiced something similar for a while. So if people have been using the outdoors for their benefits, then surely having houseplants will have a similar effect. We've all been made very aware of the air purifying properties of plants. Although I think this is a great way of being able to get into the houseplant movement, you don't want to rely on that information as gospel. There is a little bit of truth behind it, but the whole thing, the whole study was done in such a controlled environment that just opening up your windows is so much better for you. But yeah, I won't go into that now. So yeah, we've all been made aware of the air purifying properties of plants can have in our homes, but I feel like we should be putting more of a focus on how they're more beneficial to our mental health. So personally for me, it's more about coexisting with my houseplants. Having houseplants is more than just making your home aesthetically pleasing, but it's creating a lifestyle with them. Having houseplants in my life allows me to slow down and reconnect with Mother Nature on a daily basis. By checking in on my plants, I'm also checking in on myself. So most days I will take some time out of my schedule to go and check and inspect my plants. And if any of them are looking really particularly dry, I'll take them in and have a shower with them. Don't know if anyone else does that. Otherwise I do try most days to do something to check in on them. I try at least once a month to really set one day aside so I can do a full maintenance check, and that is something that is long overdue for me at the moment, because some of my plants really need some care. Oops. But anyway, so I do notice dramatically my houseplants reacting to my schedule. So if I'm going through a bit of a darker phase and I just can't be bothered, or if my work schedule has suddenly doubled, which it has like over these past kind of couple of months, I do notice that I start to neglect my houseplants and they start to look a bit shitty, and in turn that makes me feel a bit shitty. So neglecting my houseplants, I am kind of neglecting myself in a way, and my houseplants have become like my self-care. And I love nothing more than having houseplants in my home. I love finding new species, going around checking on them, giving them a good wipe down, which yeah, in my flat is very long overdue at the moment. And there's no better feeling than when you've got houseplants that are thriving, that's putting out new growth, that's flowering or sporing, or yeah, it's so amazing to have. And yeah, it's so much fun to have them in your homes. And this is where I hope to help you with my range of workshops as well. I want to be building up your confidence in caring and coexisting with houseplants, because it shouldn't be stressful. The amount of people that come into the shop and they're just like, oh, I don't know what, like, help me, and just panicking. Like, it shouldn't be stressful. Going and getting a plant should be really exciting. Taking it home, caring for it, it should all be from an emotion of joy and like nurturing and caring for it. So plants are much more than just a object to put somewhere and just, yeah, it looks good there. There's so much more than that. And so yeah, with all my workshops, you can find them online at louvterrariums.com. I'm also on a mission to help you guys with your plant problems with my Agony Plant series on my IGTV, so go check that out. And if you want to get involved, please just either shoot me a Facebook message or shoot me an email to info@louvterrariums.com.